So you've sent the email, you've sent the direct message, you've called the person and left a voicemail, and you've heard nothing. And you follow them up and you do the same thing. Another email, another call, another voicemail, another text, another direct message, and you hear nothing. What does that mean? So what we're talking about in today's podcast, episode 682 of the Daily Sales Message podcast, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff too. As I lose my voice. It's funny that after 600 episodes I'm losing my voice. But that's what we're talking about today, is I completely lose my train of thought. And the title of this episode is No Response is a Response. No response is a response. I get very frustrated by people who follow up endlessly, those that follow me up and that insist other people should follow up. Yes, there is this accepted notion that a certain number of follow-ups may need to take place for somebody to buy from you. I'm not disputing that. I get that. What I do dispute is that it is a set number and that we should just harangue people to the ends of the earth. Because at the end of the day, if you receive a message from me today and you're not interested in what I'm offering you and you don't respond, well, guess what? That is your response. No response is a form of response, and particularly if we get to 2 or 3 or 4 or more messages, and I had one guy offering me his free fitness guide 12 times, and I had to ask him to stop in the end. But if we've got multiple times where you're just not responding, you're probably not interested, and that's okay. And that's where my mantra of don't chase them, replace them comes in. We'll put our time and energy into somebody else, and maybe we'll come back to you at a later date. But chasing people endlessly, haranguing them endlessly, gotta do 17 follow-ups, all this specific stuff, I just don't agree with it. Yes, there are stats out there, but they are averages. Some people will take just the first message they'll buy from you. Some will be a couple of follow-ups. Some people will not respond to you, and then 5 years later out of the blue come back and say, yes, I'm ready to buy now. It's completely random because people are random. But do pay attention to the fact that no response is a form of response. And to add to that, you don't owe anybody you're not entitled to a response from anybody. So I often have this where somebody cold messages me, and then the follow-up is essentially, James, ? Have you been abducted by aliens? It's like, no, you're missing the point. I'm not come back to you because I'm not interested. And I don't want to waste my time having to tell you. And the fact you're taking that tone, I know you're trying to be funny, you're sending me Kermit the Frog memes and stuff like that, haha, you clever. But the fact you're doing that just gets my back up, because it feels like you're then pressuring me to respond to something I never asked for in the first place. Anyway, turn this into a bit of a rant. The moral of the story today, children, is that no response is a form of response. So if after 2 or 3 or so messages or calls or whatever, people aren't getting back to you, just put them on ice for now. Go and speak to somebody else. Certainly don't pressure them to respond to you, and certainly don't start sending them sarky, hilarious follow-ups where you're insinuating they've been abducted by aliens or something stupid like that. Right, that's it for this episode of the podcast. Tomorrow, episode 683, it's an important one. It is an important one, and it's applicable not just to sales, but pretty much to life in general. So now I've pushed the bar up very high in your expectation of just what on earth we're talking about tomorrow. It's a piece of advice, not even a piece of advice actually, it's something I recognised and realised many years ago and that I use on a daily basis. I think you'll benefit from it too, so tune in tomorrow for that one. In the meantime, thank you for listening or watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it. Catch you tomorrow for another exciting edition, and hopefully less whingy edition, of the Daily Sales Message.